Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy Botshelo Sello. Welcome back to my another YouTube video. So for tonight, I just want to show you my strategy that will take your win rate from 20% to 70%. Before we get down to it, please make sure if you're new to my channel to subscribe to my channel, like this video and comment down below if you have anything to ask me. So let's get down to the chart so I can show you how to get your winning rate from 20% to 70%. Let's get down to it.
Guys, the first thing that I want to show you that will take your ratings high is the correlation pairs. So if you remember correctly, I had GBP JPY and CHF JPY. Those two pairs have a positive correlation. What do I mean? If I bought on GBP JPY and I bought on CHF JPY, they move the same. But the disadvantage is the trade doesn't go my way. Let's say I risk 2% per trade. So if I get into those two trades, CHF JPY and GP JPY, and both I bought and they're not going my way, I'll lose 4% of my entire account. So what you should do is you shouldn't trade pairs that are positive correlation because you'll lose more money. Yes, you can make more money, but we're trying to build consistency in the forex market. So don't trade pairs that are positive correlations. Don't do that. Pairs that correlate, don't trade them. A negative and a positive, it's much better, but a positive correlation, don't do that because that's where you lose a lot of money. And I'll also show you about trend lines. Trend lines are really important. I see some of the people that send me their analysis on my Instagram account, show me the analysis. I see that a lot of them don't know how to put the trend lines, and that's where they go wrong. They'll think here it's a they'll think here it's a breakout, but it's not a breakout because they didn't put their trend lines properly. So the first thing is you should do is don't trade positive correlation pairs. That's the one thing that you should remove there in order for you to increase your win rate. Remove the positive correlation pairs. If you don't know what the correlation is, just Google it. You will see, and I will explain to you what it is. Then you have an understanding of it. And then the second thing you should do is that every time you get into a pair, or every time you sell or buy, make sure your risk ratio is 1:3. Make sure every time you go into a trade, your risk ratio is 1:3. Why do I say that? Uh, when you go into a trade, just want to, yeah, the risk ratio here is 1:3. So when you enter a trade, let's say you used a 0.001 lot size. If the trade doesn't go your way, maybe your stop loss is 30 pips. If your trade doesn't go your way, it will hit you with a $3. It will hit you with a -$3, or you take you out with a $3. But if the trade goes your way, you're going to get $3 times 3, that's gonna be $9. So every time you get into a trade, make sure your risk ratio is 1:3. You see, our risk ratio is 1:3. Make sure that you never leave that out. If a trade is 1:2, just leave it. Do not trade a pair, or do not get into a trade that the risk ratio is 1:2. Please make sure it's 1:3. That's where you'll get more money. And guys, never forget your stop loss. When you enter a trade, always have your stop loss ready, because a lot of you blow your trading accounts because you do not use a stop loss. I don't know why you don't use a stop loss, because a stop loss is extremely important, because if you enter quickly, it will take you out. or if the pair is not ready for you, also take you out. But if you don't put your stop loss, obviously you'll blow your trading account. So the other one that I should show you is this one of trend lines. This one of trend lines. I know a lot of people get messed up when they're doing their trend lines. How they do it is like this. I just want to show you how people do it. That's how people do their trend lines. That's how they do their trend lines. Sorry, chose the wrong one. That's how they do their trend lines, and that's where they go wrong. Why is that? Because they didn't start the pattern way. They didn't put the trend line where the pattern started. So they just put it here, and most of you will do what? Because it's a breakout, you will buy and eventually go down and take you out. How should you put your trend line? So this is how you should put your trend line. You put it where your pattern begins. Where does our pattern begin? Our pattern begins here on the higher high. Let me just zoom it for you. Our pattern starts here on our higher high. That's where it starts. That's where our pattern starts. And our lower low. So that's where our pattern starts. So make sure you're really careful with the trend lines, because this one will improve your risk ratio and you make more money now because you know how to put your trend lines. And the other thing to increase your win rate, sorry, I meant to say your win rate, is that when it breaks the trend line, don't go in immediately. Wait for it to come for a retest. Wait for it to come for a retest, then that's when you go in. You should be patient, guys. You should be patient, because let me show you how the market can move. I'm really patient. The market can come here, moving heavily, thinking that it's gonna go to TP, but no, it will definitely come for a retest, and that's where I go in. That's where I go in. So you just need to be patient. Then, as I'm telling you, your risk, your win rate will increase from 20% to 70%. Did you see how many things that I showed you? I showed you around 3 or 4 things. But these are the two important ones. The first one is the trend line. Put your trend lines correctly, and every time uh, the market breaks the trend line, wait for it to come for a correction. Then that's when you put in your entries, then go up with it. Because how I do it is, if it comes, it breaks, and then it comes back, it don't get me, I won't get a loss, because I'll be waiting for the market to break. What I'll do is I'll just evolve my pattern. It'll be here. Then I'll wait for it to go down and come back, and it breaks, then comes for a retest. Then that's where I go in. So make sure, guys, to wait for a retest. The market always comes for a retest, guys. Don't forget that. That's how to increase your win rate. Those are the important things that I told you about, guys. But don't forget trend lines, and don't forget the retest entry, the retest entry. That is also important, guys. So thank you guys for watching my video. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel and like the video.